So I always start my leg day with an activation. In this case, I'm starting with hip thrust with an abduction, and that is why I'm using a resistance band just above my knees. I usually do about 3 sets of this, which follows as well thigh hydrants that I will show you in a minute. Activation is so important to activate, as the words say, your glutes, because your glutes are also known to be sleeping giants. So it's really important, especially if you lead a sedentary life and you have an office job, you spend the majority of the time sat down. It's so important that you activate and warm up, not only to wake up your glutes, but also to make sure they engage better and you avoid injuries as well. And here also I'm using a weight just to, usually an activation is just a banded exercise, but for the second and third rep I usually use a weight that is not too heavy for me, just to keep activating your glutes, but you don't have to do that if you're a beginner. Note how I'm performing the thigh hydrants. In this case, you can see that the resting leg is more towards the center of the body, so that I'm kind of inclined with my leg. I'm doing this on purpose so that I can activate even more my glutes. And in here, I'm just showing you how I prevent the Smith machine, and in particular the hook, from getting stuck while I'm doing kickbacks. I'm just using a thigh strap and wrapping it around it. This is the first workout, an actual weighted workout after the warm-up. I always start my leg day with some kickbacks. And as you can tell from the video, I'm not going all the way down, not because I'm doing less of a range of motion, which I am, but it's made completely on purpose, because I want to make sure that I'm only isolating my glutes doing so. Because I feel like when I go all the way down, I can also target my quads, and it's perfectly fine if you want to do that, but I prefer to just isolate my glutes when I train legs. So I only tend to just go down one bar, as you can tell from the video. Second compound movement for me is going to be box squats. Box squats are actually meant to be targeting your glutes more than regular squats. That is why I prefer them sometimes. As always, I always like to add a resistance band above my knees, but you don't have to do that if you don't feel comfortable doing so. So straight after I finish my set, I jump onto a quick warm-up / pre-exhaustion exercise, which helps you activate your glutes, keep them fired up and engaged throughout. So note how I slightly lean forward when I do this exercise. This is because it helps me target my glutes even more. Progressive overload is key, so you can notice how on the second set here I added 210, so few plates there just to increase the weight and work on my strength, because it's crucial in order to build your glutes. You have to build that weight up as you progress. So obviously you want to make sure you do the exercise right, but please, you need to work on your strength and increasing weight over time, maintaining a really good form. And now again, I'm doing another type of finisher. This time is a burnout, so I do it straight after, not resting between after my actual set, and that helps me just finish off the muscle and completely batter my glutes basically. here again, I'm starting with a pre-exhaustion exercise just because I felt like that my glutes weren't engaging as much, and to just double check and triple check that my glutes will be firing during a hip thrust. So after that, I also do a second exercise just to be completely sure and activate them properly. And here I'm doing just hip thrust with a band on, no weight. When I go my heaviest, I don't tend to do a lot of reps, just because when you're working on your strength, you want to do 1 to 3 reps maximum to build your strength up. So just bear in mind that depending on what you're building up, there is a different number of sets and reps. Oh, by the way, I also did a super light set doing 20 reps of hip thrusts after this, but I just didn't film it because I just wanted to make sure I had enough space to film the rest of the exercises too. And I always like to finish my leg day with a finisher, aka burnout. I always like to do some type of abduction. This is just a standard one where I like to slightly incline my back forward just to get that activation of the glutes even more. And this will target your side booty. It's a great finisher. I always do that.